So today I put together a couple clips about Diddy and all of the S workers, etc. And I compiled them into a video, so y'all ain't gotta go look for them. You know what I'm saying? Stay tuned and please watch through the whole thing. Thank you.
Oh, bye. My phone on D&D, to turn that to function, bro, just got kicked out the B&B. Focused on the racks, I said she better off just leaving me.
Well, in that first session, Diddy had covered his face.
Yeah.
Same thing with the second session?
Same thing with the second session. His face remained covered, and it remained clueless of who they were for me to literally probably a year to like 15 months in.
Okay, so the second session, you guys actually have...
Yeah.
No condoms?
Condoms.
Condoms.
Yeah. It eventually led to no condoms, but that was probably about 4 or 5 sessions in.
Okay, now in your book, you talked about kind of dealing with erectile dysfunction and so forth.
Yeah.
So, and this is, you're dealing with that in a one-on-one situation. But now you have a guy masturbating in the corner, which I'm sure made it even harder to stay hard and to climax and so forth, right?
Extremely, man.
Yeah.
Extremely. And what was difficult about it too was it wasn't just a guy in the corner. It was directions, right? He's like, we're in the middle of trying to be in a state, and it's like, hey, move this to the left. And then she'll move it, then no, further to the left. No, a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? So it's very directed to the point where I can't block it out. Like, I have to acknowledge it. And so there's no way I'm pushing past my discomfort because it's there presently. And then obviously there's a part where he's pleasuring himself. Like he's pleasuring himself, he's masturbating. So, and I can see this from my peripheral. So it's super uncomfortable, man. So I'm just over medicating. I'm taking every...
So now we're getting into the second sex worker, and this is his story on it. And I gotta keep stopping it because I don't know, I'm not too familiar with these copyrights. So this is the next one.
So after you bust, what happens next?
I get up and I go into the bathroom to take a shower, and then when I walk in the bathroom, in the tub, it's like this much hot water, and there's like 10 bottles of baby oil in the bathtub and like 5 bottles of Astroglide, and it's just like floating in hot water. So when I walk in there, I'm like, So I'll stick my hand in the water, and like the water is like very hot. So I was like, they must have just put this in here. And I think to myself, well, I just used like 2 bottles of baby oil. So why do they got this many? Like, what they gonna be doing with all these bottles, So
there's just a massive amount of baby oil in that tub.
Massive amount of baby oil in the tub.
Okay. Well, the one thing Punisher told me that was very interesting, he told me part of the story off camera, but he said that every time he would bust, before he came, Diddy would walk in the other room and close the door. And as soon as she would like jump up and like just try to hold kind of like the stomach, like the liquid gold, make sure it didn't spill, and just like run into the other room and bring it to Diddy. And what he said that was really funny was that he was actually relieved after watching the court case, because he assumed that Diddy was eating it the whole time. And when he found out that she would rub it on his nipples, he was like halfway relieved. He was like, okay, I guess that's better than Diddy eating it, I guess.
Well, I finished, I'm in the shower, and I'm thinking to myself, like, I just came on, like, she's not gonna come get in the shower, So I get out the shower, and then when I walk out, they're having sex. Him and her are having sex.
Okay.
Yeah, and so I'm like, so she didn't even wash that off of her.
Okay, so basically Diddy got your sloppy seconds.
Yeah.
Okay, how did that make you feel when you saw that?
It threw me off, really. Like, I walked into the living room, closed the door, and started getting dressed. I was like, all right.
Like, I do not want to be here right
now. Yeah.
So this how the third dude showed up. And I ain't even gonna lie to you. Man, watch this.
But yeah, they invited this other guy, Clayton. That's how Clayton Howard and I initially met, and we had some beef at first. We didn't like each other, but we became cool.
So you guys are having sex, and then at one point, Clayton Howard, who you later found out was Clayton Howard, at that point you didn't know who he was, this black guy comes in, and what happens next? Well, at one point, Daniel, you were at Cassie's house, and Diddy and Cassie suggested that they include another man in the freak off.
Yep.
And in walks the guy next to you,
That guy.
Clayton Howard.
That guy.
Now, Clayton, how is this whole situation sold to you?
Directly. Cassie calls me up. I had been sleeping with her for years at that point. So whenever she called me, it was like money phone, you know? So she calls me up like, hey, what's going on? You around? Of course I'm around. She says, listen, we're going to do it a little different this time. You mind if, there's another person there? Completely blew me away. I'm like, what? I didn't even know there was other people involved. So she basically puts it to me simple. She says, that it's me and another guy. Her husband doesn't want her to see two guys, so he basically wants the two of us to compete to see who's going to be the guy. So I took that as, you got to fuck for your spot. It didn't take me long to think about it. I said, you know what? I got to go do it. So off I was to the apartment.
Okay, so when you show up, they were already going at it?
Yeah, they're going at it, yeah. I walk into the room and, oh, God, it was... I can just say it now because I'm already being clowned for it. It was heartbreaking. It was heartbreaking, Vlad.
Yo, I'm being clowned for it too, homie. I'm just going to let you know.
But you know what it is, Vlad, as a man, if you're put in a situation where you think you're making love to this beautiful woman for years, to walk in and see her with another guy's instrument in her face, like rubbing herself and slapping herself on the cheek, all types of thoughts goes through your mind. You remember kissing her on the cheek every time you saw her. You remember all of this. So I just fell back in the chair, and I got Puff offered me a drink. He said, "Yo, man, you want a drink?" I said, "Oh yeah." And I mean,
I lost count. Diddy is having too many altercations to where he getting too zesty and freaky. I don't even want to know what the next man say, but I had to listen to it.
Okay, so you're working for Cowboys for Angels, and you get a call that there's a celebrity client, and they don't tell you who it is yet.
No, they don't tell me who it is. All they told me was it was a celebrity client, last name Lopez.
Okay, so Cassie comes in red lingerie. And you knew who she was right away.
Immediately. I'm a year younger than her, so I grew up with the Me and You song and stuff. I'm like, okay, this is crazy. I don't believe that I'm really here right now, but let's see where this goes. So
okay, so then the two of you started to talk.
Yeah, we started talking. He left the room for a second, and mind you, when I got in there, I didn't really know what was going to happen, but I just noticed like there's a lot of towels, white towels on all the couches and the furniture and stuff. There's a red light over in the side. They're playing like, some very vibey music. And there's like a ton of baby oil, like scattered about everywhere, like more than any one man should have, and especially in a hotel room, right? So he had got up and left, and I'm looking at her. I'm like, I made the joke like, there's so much baby oil and candles in here, like one wrong move and we all gonna die. We all gonna blow up in this thing. So, but she was very communicative in the fact that she was joking and very playful with me. She told me that she picked me from the site. And it seemed as if this was something that they'd been doing for some years. They said they'd been doing this for a while too. So as far as like the vibe of the night, I took my cues from them. They pretty much knew exactly what they wanted. Again, felt like they'd done this before. And that's pretty much how it started out.
So this sort of talking and, sort of intimate kind of conversation, that lasted for hours.
Yeah, I mean, I was initially supposed to be with her for about 4 or 5 hours. I got paid as soon as I got there. And I'm thinking, again, up to this point, a lot of what I'd been doing was just hanging out. At that point, yeah, it was 4 or 5 hours into it. I thinking I'm about to go home, and then all of a sudden he was like, "All right, we're gonna turn this thing up a little bit." The music changed. More baby oil comes out. Baby oil and KY. I'm like, who got this?
Baby oil and KY comes out, it's heated. They've been heating the baby oil the whole time that we talking in the tub, right? So this was like they kind of knew what they were doing. I'm still trying to figure out what's going on. Yeah, that's when it kind of started off. He was more so wanting us to just talk to each other. You know, his whole thing is like being very verbal. So he was in the kitchen in the dark with a bottle of Ciroc. And we're sitting on the couch, and he was like, what do you like about him? You picked him from the site. What made you pick him from the site? What do you like about her? You know, he was more so, he wanted us to talk and act like he was not there at all. So that's kind of how it progressed. But it was a very long progression over the course of hours and hours.
Right, because at one point he said, it's the love hour.
Right. And that's when when the love hour happened and he became Brother Love, then it was like a totally different, the vibe changed. It was more so like the music switched up. He was asking, did he want to refresh drinks and stuff? Like a cool host almost, but you can kind of tell like they had some type of formula of where they wanted the night to go. So I was just along for the ride, honestly.
Okay, so you guys start with contact in the beginning, and that actually leads up to at the end?
Yeah, it was more so just physical touch. So there was lots of baby oil around, as I said before, and he was like, okay, why don't you put some baby oil on her? And then she was like, he asked her, do you want you to put some baby oil on him? So it was more so that talking, caressing, stuff like that for hours, like for an ungodly long amount of time. And at a certain point, she would start to kind of like come towards me to kind of like move things along. And he would be like, no, go back. You know, you just tell him you're moving too fast, you know? So he never was telling anybody what he wanted them to do. He never gave demands to say, touch him, do this. He would say, what do you want to do? Do you want to do this? Do you like that about him? It was all about the verbal cues for him.
So now we get into the final clip about your boy, Diddy, and his S-workers. And this one come with a picture in it. So stay tuned.
Oh, you start having sex with Jane Doe, and then Diddy actually joined in the first time?
Yeah, he joined in the first time because that's what she requested. She said she wanted two guys, so we was pretty much swapping out. Yeah, from the back I get and swap, you know. So yeah, that's what she asked for and that's what she got. But that was only the first time. We only did that once.
So he never joined in after that?
We'll swap sometimes though. Like we'd be in the same room and like he'll hit for a little bit, and then I do my thing. But like he would only like be in and he'd be in and out quick, pound it real quick and then be out. So,
well, I guess the thing with Diddy was that he wasn't well endowed, so he was trying to give these girls something that he didn't have, but he wanted to control that, something like that. Because me and you talked about this.
So yeah, he told me I can give my girl anything in the world, but I can't give her that. Talking about my, so so yeah, it was just like, yeah, he can give her all the gifts she want, but he can't necessarily. Some guys feel intimidated by not having a big, I guess, but and he just wanna, I don't know. I think he just like to see this. I think he just like to see this. You know, like.
Well, you actually ended up with a video of a freak off with Diddy and 50's baby mother on your phone.
Yeah, he accidentally recorded on my phone, so it stayed there.
It stayed there.
Right.
And while you and I took a break, you actually showed me this video.
Yeah. So, yeah.
I was not prepared for what I saw in that video. I was not prepared. Because as we're watching, and it's got you and the girl, suddenly you see an oiled up Diddy walk by the camera. Now I knew, for some reason, I just thought the baby oil was for the other people. I didn't realize that he was baby oiled as well.
Yeah. He stayed oiled up as well.
Stayed oiled up.
That's his thing.
Okay, so that was something I was not prepared for. But then there was something else that I was not prepared for.
Yeah.
Now I'm trying to say this in the most heterosexual way possible right now. I'm really struggling with this to actually say this out loud, all right? But when you said that he wasn't well endowed, I was not prepared for what I saw in this video.
Yeah, he's a smaller guy. Well, I mean, I don't I don't know how to put it, but yeah, I mean, he's not that large in that area. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Well, as someone who is in the adult industry, and guys in that industry always measure themselves, and that's used as a marketing ploy and everything else like that, how big do you think Diddy is?
I mean, I was trying not to look as much as possible, but it's hard not to see it. But I would say maybe a couple inches, maybe 3. I don't know. Like,
3 inches.
yeah, it's
3.
yeah. That's from what I seen. Yeah.
So y'all heard everything that just happened with him. That's the end of it. I mean, thank you for watching. I put everything in there that I could find, and it's my top 5. Y'all don't want to search for the rest. Thank you.
Bye. My phone on dandy, 2 turn at the function, bro just got kicked out the BNB. Focus doing the racks, I said she better off just leaving me.